Hey fellow YouTubers, this is George here at Vinyl Rescue. Welcome to my channel. This is my Denon DL-103R. I sent it off to Phono Cartridge retipping. They're out of California. You remember in a previous video I discovered that the cantilever was broken off. Well, it was bent, and I tried to straighten it and it broke off, so at that point it was toast. So I was about to just ready to throw it in the garbage when some people commented about getting it repaired. I didn't think moving coil cartridges could be repaired. Well, I stand corrected. So here it is. It's been fixed. It has a now it has a Boron Cantilever instead of an aluminum one, and instead of a nude Stylus, which was basically a conical, it now has a micro ridge Stylus tip on it. So I'll leave links down below for his website. Turnaround on this was really quick. All I had to post up when I mailed it out, and I just got it back today. Today is Friday, December 12th. I won't be mounting this on a head shell yet because the new head shell I ordered won't be in till Monday. Got it from Turntable Labs. I've got several of them. It's the one that has the adjustable azimuth on it, so I can keep it straight and level with the record itself. So let's get this opened up. Now this has been, the cartridge body itself has been modified. So he's got this taped in here. He did. Wow. This is going to be so cool. So let's at least want to get it unbolted from here. So once I get it all the way opened up here, got interrupted. My other half called. So I will get this all off of here. So what he did was, let me get the light up here a little bit better. Besides getting a new cantilever and Stylus tip, he opened up the front end. As you can probably see, trying to get this thing in focus here. A white background. So as you can see where it was cut off, it's cut here and cut across here. A review, I'll put it in the description also. If somebody had their 103 done, their DL-103, not a 103R, is that I guess on his, the Stylus guard wouldn't go back on. So, but my question to him was about cutting off the front here. Would I still be able to use it? And he said yes. So it does go back on, no problem. So let me try to put this under the magnification. if I can get this to work right. So that's what it looks like now. Let me see if I can get this to... There, clean off the little dust on there, but there's a new micro ridge. It's tip. Wow, that is really cool. So I will get the new head shell in on Monday, and I will get it mounted on. I'll show it when I get the head shell and get it mounted on, and then I'll do a needle drop test, and we'll see how this thing sounds. So a little bit of dust there. There we go. Got the dust cleared off. Need just a little bit of air. That is so cool. I can't wait to get the head shell and get this thing spinning. Oh boy. Anyway, the guy that does this name's Andy Kim. He's out of El Dorado Hills, California. And when he got this, I think it only took him just a couple of days or so before he notified me that it was done and ready to send back. So after I paid for it, he got it shipped out, and here we go. Let's get a little closer there. All right, it's gonna be nice. Anyway, I'm going to cut away here, and I will come back with the new head shell, and then we'll do a needle drop with it. So we'll be back in a little bit. Hey, I'm back. Actually, this is George here at Vinyl Rescue, not back, but continuing on where I left off. Got the head shell in a day early, so today's December 15th, Monday that is. Everybody loves Mondays. It's just a Saturday for me, being retired, but got this in from the Turntable lab. I've got several others of these, and these are really great head shells because when you can adjust the azimuth, the yaw, I guess you could call it, makes it easier rather than trying to tweak the head shell on the tone arm. Most people may not have to do that, but since I've modified mine a bit, they're not exactly straight, but it just makes it easier because you can use this Allen wrench to adjust it right here and get your azimuth perfectly aligned and straight with your platter. So these are from the Turntable lab. I ordered this I think last week sometime, don't remember exactly what day. Took about less than a week to get. Comes out of Brooklyn, New York. Comes with pretty good head shell leads. But I'm going to mount my Denon DL-103R that's been modified with a Boron Cantilever and a micro ridge stylus tip. Fred, must you do that when I'm recording? Fred's trying to get my attention. So, through the magic of video editing, I will come back and this will be mounted on here. And just like that, we're back. So, got this mounted on here now. Looking nice. Now all I need to do is get it lined up on the WallySkater first. After getting, well, first got to do the tracking force, then do the WallySkater, and then put it on the WallyTractor to get the cantilever aligned perfectly. And then we will do a needle drop with my favorite test song, and from Orion The Hunter, and we'll see what everybody thinks about the little music sample. I'm looking forward to this thing rocking in my room here. So I'll show a couple little clips next with the WallySkater and then the WallyTractor, just so everybody knows what it looks like. Or you can go to their website and take a look. So I'll just I'm not going to go in-depth alignment, just going to show it while I'm doing it just a little bit. So I'll be back. Well, I got the cart mounted, got the tracking force set, and when putting this WallySkater together, you're putting this base here on, and need a good straight level. One of these metal 18-inch rulers has been quite the godsend over the years for aligning stuff and measuring stuff and marking stuff. So, you know, you're going halfway to center point on the top bearing there, the pivot point, and you're lining up on this line here, and then you're taping it down. So next part is getting the rest of the skater together. So, and the other important thing that they recommend, I have this little bubble level there, and you're wanting to make sure that the tone arm is, you know, the base of it is level as possible. So that's the closest point I can find where I can put a level at. So as you can see there, I've got it's set in the middle. I have it setting on a piece of plywood, and I keep it taped down in the front, and I use a screwdriver to move the left side up a little bit to keep it level. And as you can see, my first measurement is the internal horizontal torque force for the outer part of the platter, and first number is really great. We're looking at 1, which is great. Since I rewired this with the Cartridge Lits, this is my SL2 Q2, that is. I did my SLQ3, I rewired it, and they're both coming up pretty close in all the numbers for all the carts. So as you can see, I'm keeping everything tracked on a spreadsheet here. So so my first number is 1, so I'll show the numbers. I'll show a little bit of what I'm going through here. And you see I'm getting my second number. This is the inner part of the platter. So trying to look at it dead on, so where the plumb bob comes down and where the string is, we're looking at 1. So another great measurement. The lower the number, the better. I've had some carts I put on here, they're at 0. Not a whole lot, but there's a couple of them that they end up being 0 on either the inner or the outer or the inner. So that's this measurement. Next number we're going for is what they call the static friction, and this is where you have it set at a hash mark up here, and you see when the head shell moves with the tone arm, when it starts to move, you count how many hash marks up here. I've been typically getting 1s with the after I've rewired both the SLQ2 and the Q3, these statics just end up being ones all the time. So, and yes, it ended up being a 1, but when you're doing the inner part of the platter of the turntable, there's a different groove mount that you put in. It's called inner groove area mount. So now we're going to put it back out here to the 9-inch, and then I'm going to do the static on it. Alright, so the outer static was also at a 1. So now what I'm going to do is adjust the anti-skate. I'm supposed to get, okay, since we was at 1, I'll just need to count up to how many dashes, which is, each one is a percent. I'm supposed to get 10%, so I got to get up to this. Alright, so trying to get this plumb bob to stop moving. I'm at the right mark. So there we go. So now we're going to apply our anti-skating dial. Get it to swing out. Okay. I've noticed that because each cart is a different weight with the head shell and a different tracking force, I've noticed the heavier ones I can't get it to swing out to the full 10 before it hits 3 out there. So I got a total of 6 and the anti-skate's at 3. So the next one we're going to do is the inner, and whatever readings I get on the anti-skate dial, I average it out between the two numbers, and that's what I set my anti-skate at. Okay, so now we're going to do the inner anti-skate force measurement. We're sitting at about 2. Okay, I'm going to do a full 3 on the dial. So I got a total of 6 on here. Alright, so the anti-skate's going to be set on 3. It tends to be the norm for the heavier tracking force carts that I have. So, alright, got this done. Now I'll set up the WallyTractor. Okay, here is the WallySkater. WallyTractor. Sorry, messing up my words of today. So the pivot to spindle dimension is 211.9, which makes the effective length arc of 230. So I'm going to line the stylus tip up on the 230. This is 0.0, and then once I get it to align here and here, the front line is the Lofgren, and the rear one is the bare wall. I tend to go with the Lofgren. JR said it tends to cause less distortion, especially when you're going in the inner groove area. So once I get the line up here and here perfectly inside the etched groove, here and here, 0 and then 1, and then I'll be coming over here to 0.2 and then 3, and then I go to 4, which is the max air counter okay, clockwise, not counter. This is clockwise, and then the last one is counterclockwise, what you're going to notice, and he describes it in the video, is that you're getting the cantilever, after you get it perfectly lined on 2 and 3, dead on straight, and your clockwise and your counterclockwise, you're going to see it off the cantilever off by just a hair, like 1 degree each way. And then if it's dead on, then you got to go back through 2 and 3 to get it straightened back out, because it has to be off on 4 and 5 by just a little bit. You're going to notice it's, when you got everything else lined up, it's not going to be dead on straight. And this is the sight glass. I took some self-adhesive cushion and cut it out to put on here because it was scratching up the surface when you're trying to readjust back and forth. And also what I do, which I don't have it on here yet, I take a small piece of tape. Once I get it well, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Usually when I have tape down here, it keeps it from skating, because when you don't want it to skate, move easily. So alright, I've got it lined up at 0.0 and 0.1. Now we're going to go on to 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I didn't take it. You have to tinker it, wiggle it back and forth until you get it just right. It has to line up at 0.0 and 0.1 before you can move on to 2, 3, 4, and 5. Otherwise, it's not going to be right. This is the fine-tuning of aligning your cantilever with the hash marks. It's hard to get it zoomed in here correctly, but you've got marks that reflect off the top. Dang-nabbit, almost had it. Alright, let's try to zoom in, see if we can get it. Voice is looking ugly. Here we go. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it, but you get the top hash marks to align with the bottom ones that you see in the reflection, and then you line up your cantilever with it. I gotta adjust this one a little bit. I'm sorry about the bad picture here, but I've got, maybe you can see it there, I got it twisted a little bit clockwise, so hopefully nobody got sick watching the wigglies here. So, well, I've got it perfectly aligned now, but it's hard to get it to focus with the video part on my phone. So I did snap a good picture, and what it is the etch marks on the top are going to show reflection on the bottom, and when you get them all lined up perfectly, this is when you want to make sure you got your cantilever aligned perfectly with the middle, in between the top etch marks and the reflection etches on the bottom. So once you get that, then you go to 3. If it's lined up perfectly, then you go to 4 to make sure it's off a little bit, and then it's marked the other way on the counterclockwise, and then it's done. So a little tricky, but it's well worth it because the ears can hear the difference. Because if I had done just like at the Technics 52 millimeters and then align it straight with the front of the cartridge, you can hear the difference, and that's what the 3 videos I'd done previously, the little sound bites of the 3 different turntables and 3 different carts. So there is a difference. Alright, so got it all aligned and everything. all points 0 through 5. So I just need to put the anti-skate up to 3, that is. So next part is I'll get this set up on my system, and we'll do a sound check with my Orion the Hunter song. And to adjust the recording level, but let me tell you, this sounds so detailed. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Let me crank this up a little bit. Okay, this is just a little bit of a sound check, but I'm going to do an actual needle drop on my other track for like the first minute and 30 seconds. I'll give you a good clean recording with it. So, but as you can tell so far, it is sounding absolutely phenomenal. So let me stop here.